I'm joined with Exyu after unfortunate game one, much closer game two. Definitely felt like you guys had the games in your hand. Talking about the the prep between game one and game two and kind of recovering from such a um, difficult game one to actually do anything. Especially as a jungler, you just feel like there's nothing much I can do at this point.
I think game one we had an incident with the grubs where we were preparing to fight the grubs and then something bad happened and the game kind of got hard from there. So it was mostly just accepting that hey, the game was hard because we made an early mistake. It's not like we're just getting shit on completely. It's just kind of snowballs from there. So coming back with a fresh mindset, and then obviously I got cheese level 1. It's oh shit. But I feel like we had a good effort in game 2, and it shows our improvement, but we're definitely still lacking a little bit.
Yeah, for game two, especially the level of aggressiveness. I've been playing jungle recently in an amateur league. And so when you died level 1, obviously it's not comparable, but when you died level 1, I was like, man, this is going to be rough. But then you were being aggressive consistently. I'm like, if I was playing Xin Zhao there, I would be so much more scared. I'd be like, just let me finish my camp. Just let me try to get a scuttle crab lead on him or something. But you were turned on that game, especially you and Leona finding moments together, going into different lanes. We haven't really seen much of this DSG, this level of fight and grit. So what's changed over the last couple of weeks that's allowed you guys to be more aggressive on the Rift?
Well, we brought on a new coach, someone that I've worked with in the past, and I feel like he does help me a lot, and I think he's helping this team a lot to get better. And I think as a team, we're kind of growing more of an identity and more of just more confidence in ourselves, more structure. So I think that's a big part of why when we play on stage now, it feels like we're actually playing the game. Whereas before it was kind of we're just there and there's so much confusion and then, nothing happened and we just lose in peace.
And how have scrims been going? I'm not sure how the scrim structure is supposed to work with these two separate groups. Do you just exclusively scrim the people on the other side, or do you still scrim people on your group?
Yeah, this week we just scrimmed the other side. But it's kind of awkward also because if you're the bottom 2 teams, you're going to play the other side for your last spot. So I'm not really sure how this next week of scrims is going to be. Are we just going to scrim these same teams again? Preferably not, but we'll see. And honestly, for scrims, they've been going pretty well. I think we've shown a lot of growth and we're having positive records against people who probably the public wouldn't really believe. So
I mean, we've heard you guys have been dogging Team Liquid, so
yeah. I mean, we are playing well. Honestly, I think this roster has potential. We just are struggling on stage a little bit right now.
What about Abadage? Because when I asked Scary about what he said as soon as he won his first game on LTA, he was like, I looked to Abadage and I was like, don't let them box you in. And he was like, the rookie was giving confidence and motivation to the most veteran person on that roster. Maybe who he's most veteran, but
yeah, who he's definitely, but.
Who he was saying something similar where it's yeah, I played with Abadage before. I know that when he's not confident, he struggles on stage, and when he gets that confidence, he can pop off. Yeah. We saw his rise looked way better than his first rise. He still had some iffy run warps, but you could see the idea behind them. How is he feeling, and how does that, because mid jungle is always a duo that you have to play around. So how has his level been so far with you?
I think Felix is just an interesting guy. He's very unique, and I do agree that he's definitely a confidence player, and definitely having this rough start and kind of having a bad. I guess our structures were just bad as a team. So he's a player who functions very well in systems and structures and very professional environments, and I think we were lacking that a lot. So I think, we were kind of doing a disservice to him because he really thrives in those environments. So that's what we're kind of trying to push towards more. And I think, Jerry giving him confidence, I always try to give him confidence too, and Jay as well. I think once we get into more of a rhythm, I feel like he'll be incredible. He just needs some time to rebuild that confidence.
And last time you played, you were on Dignitas, you had solo laners that couldn't really understand much English. This time's a very different experience. Obviously Castle speaks way better English than your either solo laners. But how has how different does it feel of having a team that all can communicate in one language? Because a lot of times we'll see analysts be League is its own language. You don't actually need to speak the same language. And some people are yes, maybe, but you also kind of need to know the same language.
Yeah, I would say like communication is a bridge, right? Obviously, when things are not clear, communication can solve problems. And I think that's where it's hard to play with people who don't speak English because it's like when both sides are unsure, there's just no way to bridge that gap of information. I would say playing with Castle has been incredible. Like I really enjoy playing with Castle. His English is way better than I thought it was going to be. So I think my dynamic with him is pretty good, and we function well together. But yeah, it's definitely very different because when I played with like Rich and Dove, I think the language gap was pretty big. So it's nice.
Do you I think if I'm not mistaken, who he told me that you and Scary tend to like 1v1 a lot in basketball?
Yeah, yeah.
Who wins more often? He specifically told me to ask you guys.
Who wins more often? I mean, recently his shot has been hitting, so he's been winning. But before I was kind of smoking him, and then I actually like kind of jammed my thumb pretty bad the other day, and then yeah, so I've been like icing it and stuff, but it didn't really affect my play at all today. It's just like we haven't been playing 1-on-1 recently because of that.
I see. Do you guys do anything else like as a team to like team bonding activities or anything like that?
Not that much. I think we want to, right? Like obviously it's ideal to do that, but like when you're losing, it's hard to build proper habits, which is probably just like a bad mindset on our end. But like, when you're losing, it's hard to like be like, guys, let's not play solo queue. Let's not watch VODs. Let's like go do something fun together. It's like, fuck, like we need to grind. Like we just need to win, It's like a bit of desperation. And I think, yeah, it would be nice if we can keep proper structure still. I think that's something we're working towards.
Is that when I talked to Castle, at least he seemed not that desperate. He was like, "Look, man, maybe because he was in Immortals last year, but it just felt like he was used to it." And he was like, "You just have to play your game and like consistently improve, and like the results will come to you if you just like try to drop everything, try to put like 17 band-aids. It's just not going to work out that way." So it's interesting
Yeah.
that you feel maybe like the sense of desperation in what's going like your results.
I think Castle is one of the most optimistic people I've ever met in my life, and I love him for that. Like it's hard. It's hard to be on a bottom team, and I think he really makes it easier. And not in the sense that like he's like, oh, whatever, guys. It's like he's trying his best, but like you could tell that like he cares about the vibe and he cares about everyone improving and trusting each other, and I think that's a very valuable quality.
What like what is like a realistic, because you're saying he's very optimistic, but like as a team right now, obviously the placements going 1 and 6 doesn't really matter. You're placed in the group that you are, and now you
Yeah.
just have to like figure stuff out. You just have to win. What's like a realistic expectation of like, hey, we want to finish third. We want to make sure we're third. We want to make sure we're second, or like we just want to make sure we're improving. Like, how do you set that? Do you set that as a team? Is it like a personal thing?
I would say it's hard to say. I don't think we have like goals for placements because truthfully, like no one in the league is that good right now. Like even FlyQuest, I think they're the most consistent and solid team, but they're not like gods either. Like when we played against them, it didn't really feel like that. So it really just all is on us. Like if we can start playing better, like today's game, we had it, like we had a chance to win. And I think what gives me a lot of confidence is that the mistakes we're making on stage are the same ones we make in scrims, and the leads we're getting on stage are the same ones we're getting in scrims. So like as long as our practice keeps improving, like we are going to be able to translate these results onto stage. So obviously it sucks to lose today, but I'm pretty confident that like if we keep improving in scrims, like we will be good. And from there, I don't think it's like we expect to place anywhere because honestly, like we could be first, we could be eighth. Like that's just how it is. I think the team gaps are not that big.
All right. Well, you guys have Team Liquid to play against, so that's nice. You guys already beat them once. So who knows? Maybe you can take them out. Any last words to the fans that have been very happy to see you come back to the LTA?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to all the fans who are still supporting me. It's been a rough year. We are trying to get better, and honestly, I have a lot of confidence in this roster since the coach change. I think Ido is that's public, right? Yeah, I think it's public. Ido's like incredible, honestly. Like I worked with him on Fear, and what he's doing with his team, like he's breathing life into this roster, and you guys just have to trust the process. Like we can be good.
All right. Well, looking forward to see what we can do, and I'll let you go. Thanks for the interview, man.